Hello. Thank you for joining Lawana's Urban Voices. Really appreciate you guys listening and tuning into my little podcast that I'm trying to do every day. Um, I wanted to talk to you guys about the young man who was in Las Vegas in court pleading his soul out to the judge. He said that he was a changed man. He was no longer doing drugs. He wanted to, be put on probation for one of his crimes. And I said one because he committed quite a few. He has a crime record. So he has a pretty decent record, a few felonies, a lot of misdemeanors, and he wanted to get probation for his latest crime. And he was basically telling the judge he has, learned his lesson and he wanted to, you know, listen to her sentence and hopefully she would be lenient on him. So the judge listened to what he had to say and then she said, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but based on your record, yeah, probation is not what's going to happen. I think you need to kind of learn a lesson. He got furious. I mean, yelled, what? And, called her a bitch. And he, like, literally, how he got from where he was standing behind the table all the way to the judge and jumped over and this like started to beat on her before the one bailiff that was in there, a court reporter that was in there, a couple of other guys in there, jumped in to kind of pull him off of her, but he got in a couple of good licks. My thing is, and please, please keep the comments to a minimum. Please don't judge me. I saw this guy go from the table to the judge in what, 1.2 seconds, jump over this big, I don't know what you call the judge's bench, or I know it's called a bench, but her desk that she has that she sits behind high up over, overlooking her courtroom. When I saw how quickly he did that, I was like, uh, Jerry Jones, our defense is slacking a little. Can somebody give this man a call? He needs a job. Can you imagine him hopping over the offensive line, like hopping over the offensive lineman and going straight for the quarterback? Our defense for the Dallas Cowboys needs some help. And we're getting ready to go into the playoffs. And I'm like, the way he tackled that judge, and I'm so, glad that she's okay. She got a few little bruises and stuff, but she went back to work the next day. So she's good. And she issued a statement thanking everybody for their well wishes. So I'm not saying, I'm not saying that I wanted her to get hurt. I'm glad she's not hurt. But on the other hand, Dallas defense needs some help. And this man just showed what a big old man can do with the right motivation. 1.2 seconds, he ran around the table that he was standing behind, giving his little testimony, jumped into the air, hopped over to that judge's big old desk that she's behind to get to her. 1.2 seconds. If our defense can get off the line that quick to go after the quarterback, to hit the offensive line like that, or if we just had two guys on our team that could just hop over the offensive lineman and get the other team's quarterback, we would be in the Super Bowl. We would be contenders. Playing for the Super Bowl championship game if we had that kind of defense on our team for the Dallas Cowboys. That's all I'm saying. The man shows some impressive skills, and I'm thinking our defensive coordinator for the Cowboys need to be watching how quickly he made that move and how agile he was, so we can get those type of moves on our defensive line and some of our defensive players so they can hop over the offensive line of the other team and take out the quarterback so the Cowboys can win the Super Bowl this year. That's all I'm saying. That man had some impressive skills. Now, what he did was wrong as hell. Going after a female judge, going after the judge, just giving this big pleading speech about how he's changed his life and he won't be committing crimes, to turning around and committing 4 or 5 more crimes or whatever they're going to charge him with. I mean, don't get me wrong, the man was totally wrong, but the skills, they were impressive. That's all I'm saying. The man got some skills. They were impressive, and the Dallas Cowboys could use that kind of defensive player. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. We need some help on our defense right now, and um, those kind of skills are being wasted by this man because he's going back to jail and he ain't getting out anytime soon. So I know he can't help us for the Super Bowl this year, but I'm just saying, can somebody find out what type of, workout he's doing, what type of training he's got going on so we could instill that into our Dallas defensive players so we can win the Super Bowl this year? Because our defense needs a little bit of help, and that man had some skills. That was impressive skills, just in the wrong context. So what I'm saying is, if we take this man's impressive skills and redirect them to positive, a positive place, like playing defense for the Dallas Cowboys so we can win the Super Bowl, that would be more productive than putting this man in jail. Do you see what I'm saying? Now, he deserves to be in jail for what he did. Now, I don't know what other crimes he committed. I didn't even want to know. But the fact that he went 1.2 seconds from his position in the courtroom to hopping over, I mean, woo, he's Superman that. So all I'm saying is, as a Cowboy fan, and I know our defense needs some help, and we barely won our last game. Those kind of skills could be very helpful on the football field. And that's all I'm saying. There are so many talented people that are wasting their skills, and that man, whew, we could use him on our Dallas Cowboy defense. Now, what he did was wrong. I ain't condoning what he did, and I'm so glad the judge is okay. And she's one tough lady because she was like, uh, I ain't gonna let one monkey stop this show. Oh, I didn't mean to say monkey like that. I'm using that blues song. Oh, that came out so wrong, and it wasn't supposed to come out there. She just said, I'm not gonna let one defendant jump over a bench, beat me up, and keep me from doing my job. That's what she said. She said, I still got a job to do. I got a full caseload that I need to overlook. So guess what? I'm still gonna go to work the next day. I ain't scared. I'm gonna need some little extra security. Y'all need to bring another bailiff in here because y'all need. And the bailiff that you had, he was a little slow because he didn't get there in time. It was the court reporter who saved her. So I'm sure they're gonna do security a little different from her. But in the meantime, um, Dallas, Jerry, if y'all could find out who's training that man and get some of those skills on our defense team, as a true Cowboy fan, I would, kind of appreciate that. That would be awful nice of you to do that. So, just think about it, Jerry. You know, our team is looking like they need a little help. So, okay, thanks for that. Um, on a serious note, um, the school shooting in Iowa was heartbreaking. A sixth grader did um, lose his life, which my prayers and thoughts and everything in my body goes out to his parents and family and friends, because right after the holidays to start the new year off with the loss of a child is horrible. Um, the school shooter posted that he was about to do this before he went in and did that. They're still trying to determine why he went in and shot up the school. Some of his friends said it was because he was being bullied excessively and that he just couldn't take it anymore. So he shot shot up the school and um, uh, injured a few kids and ended up killing himself when it was all said and done, which is also very sad for his parents, um, because if he had been bullied, and that's the thing about parenting, that sometimes we don't see the signs, and you can't as a parent always see the signs, um, which is the most heartbreaking thing as a parent, because no parent wants their child to kill themselves, because you you know that as bad as it is today, that tomorrow's a better day, tomorrow can be a better day, and that there is help available. But for his parents, I'm sure they weren't sure or didn't know or missed the signs. And trust and believe, it's easy as a parent to miss the signs of what's going on with your children. You want to be in tune, you want to be more involved, you want to make sure that your kids are okay. But sometimes as a parent, you can miss those signs. And it's, it's just a difficult situation. And for the children who were injured, we're sending prayers and thoughts to them. Um, the principal who was injured, prayers and thoughts to his family, because you we I don't know. It's this whole thing about banning guns, and how did this 17-year-old get a hold of the gun? It's still a very new story, so there's still so much we need to learn and find out before we automatically blame the guns. But I did see a couple of interviews where his friends pretty much said he was being bullied. And I think as an adult, when you look back, I got bullied. Um, I don't think I was a bully. I never intended to be a bully. But I know I've been bullied, and my mom would always say, "Girl, if you don't let that stuff roll off of your back, have some thick skin, people gonna talk about you." That's just what people do when people are insecure or sad at home or whatever they got going on. Misery loves company. So if they're miserable and they're talking about you, she said, flip the script and laugh. Just flip the script and laugh. I had I'd been called Dr. Spock because of my ears. I was tall, usually always the tallest girl, or taller than most of the boys. I was really at one time lanky. I missed the lankiness though. But I used to be called pencil pencil legs. They used to say my knees were erasers. Um, I was a string being, an Amazon. Oh, I've heard it all. And I embraced it because my mom told me to. She says when they would talk about my ears and call me Dr. Spock, I would say, I used to be able to do it when I was a kid. I would just give them the little sign and just keep it moving. I wouldn't even didn't even say nothing, just give them the sign if they called me Dr. Spock. Because my mom said the ears you have you got from my dad, my grandfather. And she says, that's a blessing. You got your grandfather's ears. When you're a kid, you don't think it is. But as I've gotten older, could care less. Um, Bullying in schools is out of control. Always has been. And that's the thing. Kids have been bullied they've been bullied forever. It's how you handle the bullies and how parents need to teach their kids to handle being bullied. Um, and to let their kids know you're not going to be bullied forever. At one point, the bullying for me stopped, and then hey, it was over. Um, and I never wanted to bully anybody, and I'm pretty sure I didn't because I had been bullied myself, and I always tried to stand up for the little guy so that no one would get bullied because I really thought that was I remembered it and it made me feel bad, but my mom told me, let it go, don't worry about it. Now, as long as they don't hit you, they can do this all day long. Talk, 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 blah, 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 blah. Just words. Now, if they hit you, knock their ass out. Don't let nobody put your hands on you. That was us. That was my mom, my uncle. You don't let nobody put no hands on you. But who cares if they talk about you? My own family talked about me. My cousin loved him to death. Used to say whenever I would sit in the back of his dad's truck that my ears would flap like Dumbo. So he'd call me Dumbo. My own cousin called me Dumbo. All my other cousins used to call me String Bean, Jolly Green Giant. Oh yeah, I've heard it all. So bullying is what it is. And I hope that the school system, parents can start to teach their kids. We have got to come up with a way to catch these type of I don't know these situations before they become a situation. Um, Parents who own guns, will you lock your guns up in a freaking gun safe so no one has access to your guns except the adults? Can parents do that? If you own a gun, can you get a gun safe? If you don't want to get a gun safe, then don't own a gun because responsible gun owners have a gun safe, especially if there's children in the house who can have access to their guns. Duh, responsible parenting. Come on, guys, get with the program. Um, and we've got to find a way that we let our kids know that sometimes you get bullied, and kids who are bullied sometimes grows up to be Bill Gates, and the kids who bully you have to ask you for a job. Karma. Okay. So if that's the reason why he did what he did, and we still don't know, that was just some of his friends on the news this morning saying that that could be part of the problem. If that is why he did that, we've got to do better about bullying and making sure these kids know that bullying is temporary and that 9 times out of 10 it's not personal, it's just kids acting stupid. Um, but we got to figure something out. Parents have got to lock their guns up away from their children. Even if your child's an avid hunter like you are, you still got to put those guns away when you guys aren't hunting. You've got to make sure your guns are secure, gun locks. Make sure the ammo is hidden from the guns and all the guns in the house are empty if you're not going to have a gun safe. At least lock up the ammo so no one can have access to that. I would prefer you lock up everything and that will make it better, but We got to do something better about these school shootings. The first, I mean, these kids just got back to school and there's a school shooting. One sixth grader dead and five others wounded, and then the shooter kills himself. That's horrible. This is not how we want to start 2024. We got to do better. So, guys, keep that in mind. If you have kids, to my listeners who still have little kids, who still have teenage kids, talk to your kids. Let them know that they shouldn't bully. And if they are being bullied, that it's temporary. That once you get a little bit older, the bullying is going to stop and you're going to start your whole life and things are going to get better. I think we forget to let kids know that tomorrow is going to be a better day. Um, it reminds me of that, and I know this is totally out of left field, but it reminds me of that Annie song. The sun will come out tomorrow. Bet your bottom dollar that tomorrow, the sun, it's just going to be a better day. Um, and we got to let our kids know that it's okay if they need to talk, be available to talk to your kids. If they need more help than you can provide, be willing to get your kids therapist. There's so many online services to help people with mental illness or therapists just to help talk to them and find out what's going on with your kids. If you suspect something, then do something. If you aren't sure or you just want to make sure your kid is having a mental tune up, then do that as well. But we've got to, I personally feel parents have got to be held accountable for their children's actions. When your child gets a hold of your gun, then you've got to be held accountable for that. Um, and then maybe parents will do the right thing and lock their guns up so that their children don't have access to it. Um, because these school shootings and these parents losing their children that way is horrible. It's horrible. And we've got to figure out something. We got to figure something out to make a difference. So, with that being said, I'm off my soapbox. Let's just do better. Um, I want to thank you guys for tuning in to Lawana's Urban Voices. And please keep the comments coming. I really do appreciate them. Even the negative ones and even the ones that say I look like this, that, or the other. Thank you. I appreciate it. Hey, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and lucky for you, I don't give a damn what you think. But I appreciate you taking the time to at least leave a comment, good, bad, or ugly. Thank you. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Lawana's Urban Voices. If you can, please refer a friend. I would appreciate it. You guys have a great, great day. And if I don't talk to you tomorrow, definitely give me a day or two. I'll be right back with whatever else is pressing because I know um, I do have some thoughts on Cat Williams. Just can't get everything in one podcast. So we'll talk. Good night. Oh, good afternoon. And thank you for always tuning in to Lawana's Urban Voices. Thank you guys. Have a wonderful day.